gluteal region. This is the thigh. This is the leg. This is the foot. Never forget. In the gluteal region, this is the muscles. Gluteus maximus. Robust muscle. Very much robust muscle. And it will form the gluteal prominence. Gluteal prominence. It will form the gluteal prominence. And is this muscle and this muscle, both will. This is the shoulder prominence. This is the gluteal prominence. And both muscles used for intramuscular injection. Why do you give this intramuscular injection?
Upper and outer.
And if you like this is the fourth quadrant. This is upper and outer. This is mid and lower, outer and lower. And if you do like this is the fourth quadrant, and this is the site for intramuscular injection. Robust muscle. The gluteus maximus, and this muscle attached in the
humerus.
Where is it attached? Gluteal tuberosity, one part of the femur. Any more attachment?
Absolutely.
This one, what is the name? Iliotibial tract. Yes, this one iliotibial tract. Everybody identifies iliotibial tract. This one. You hold it. And this is iliotibial tract. This one. Iliotibial tract. This one. This one iliotibial tract. What does it mean? You say. What does it mean? Iliotibial tract. No, deep fascia of the thigh, this is the fascia lata.
The thickening of
Okay. Wait. What is it? How can you define this iliotibial tract? No idea. He says.
It forms the fan-like structure starting from the iliac crest, period iliac crest.
No.
It is a strongest muscle in the lateral side of the thigh.
No? Strongest?
So it is a strongest muscle in lateral
No,
side.
no.
Thickening of tensor muscle.
Thickening of tensor muscle. What is your answer?
Continuation of the tensor muscle.
No.
Sir, thickening of the tensor muscle.
No. Everything.
Lateral thickening.
Deep fascia? Yes. First of all, everybody try to clarify your understanding. The deep fascia of the thigh is the fascia lata. Deep fascia of thigh, fascia lata. Fascia lata. Lata means extensive distribution. And deep fascia of the thigh, it will hold up all muscles, nerves, vessels, everything of the thigh. And laterally, this deep fascia is thickened. This is the thickened. This thickened part of the fascia lata. Lateral thickening of fascia lata. It is the iliotibial tract. As iliotibial, it is attached to ilium, and tibial attached to the tibia. Tract means it is the thickening part. It is the thickening part. Only thickening part. Not whole thickened. Only the lateral part is thickened. And this is the tract region extending from ilium up to the tibia. So it is iliotibial tract. This is the thickening of fascia lata. Yes, lateral thickening of fascia lata. And two muscles attached over here. One, this is the gluteus maximus from back. From in front, you identify over there. From in front, another muscle attached. This is the tensor fascia. No, this is the thickening of tensor fascia. Tensor fascia is muscle. Tensor fascia it is muscle. It is attached from this anterior ventral segment of iliac crest. This is the tensor fascia. From front, tensor fascia. From back, gluteus maximus. Two muscles attached over here. And these two muscles supply basically the superior gluteal or inferior gluteal. So, and tensor fascia is supplied by superior gluteal. So it will be asked in the exam. And identify this is the iliotibial tract. What are the muscles? These are gluteus maximus and tensor fascia. Supply the inferior gluteal nerve, superior gluteal nerve. And it will and this attached to the tension, this iliotibial tract. When muscle contract, what is the actions of the gluteus maximus?
Cheap extensor of the
Cheap extensor of thigh. We are standing over here, so this is the extension position of it. When you do flexion, over like this is the flexion of the hip, then extension. This is the flexion of the hip. I have already told. This is apposition of surfaces and reducing angle. This is the flexion. This is the away from the surface, and this is the extension. Okay. When extend, then it will tense. It will tense, and it will tense, and it will stabilize tibia over the femur over the tibia during extension. So trunk will stable over the tibia. Trunk will be stable over the tibia. So it is very easy for standing. This is the action. This is the action on the iliotibial tract. And tensor fascia lata, it will tense the fascia lata. It will tense. When contract, it will tense the fascia lata. Thereby, through this tract, this will tighten the tibia with the lower end of the femur. When we lift up anything from squatting position or sitting posture, when we lift up our body from the sitting posture to standing posture, then stabilize this trunk over the tibia by pulling this tract, by contraction of the tensor fascia, pulling this tract, and this tract acts over the tibia. And tibia and femur, lower end of the femur, stable. So trunk is very much stable over the femur. This is the action. So it is very, very important, these two muscles that will stabilize our trunk through the tibia, femur over the tibia. As this is very unstable joint. This is the knee joint. Very unstable joint. Very unstable joint because the bony structures is not gripping more, and mostly this ligament is very important over here. But this joint is very stable because the femur head is firm grip over the within the scapula. This is the acetabular. The bony configuration very good. The here bony configuration not good. This is a very obvious chance of slipping. That is slipped out and fall down. So it will tract. This tract will maintain this position. Just to tighten the lower end of the femur over the tibia. This is the form action, during action, different positions of our body. When we are running, we are sitting, we are jumping, and we are weight bearing. When we pull weight from sitting posture to standing posture, they stabilize the trunk over the. When you just try to see, understand when this weightlifter lift the weight from this sitting posture to standing posture, this is the weight like this, very slowly, and stabilize the trunk over the tibia. Then this tensor fascia lata and gluteus maximus acts vigorous actions, and it will pull the tensor, this iliotibial tract. By this iliotibial tract, stabilize this upper part and to the lower part of the body or the leg. Clear? So this is the action, mode of actions. And try, you remember, you must for passing, you remember what is the actions? This one. What is this one? Identify. What is the muscle attached over here? What is the nerve supply? Clear? So gluteus maximus has actions not only this hip joint, it will act to the knee joint through the iliotibial tract. Correct. Iliotibial tract. Not only acts over here. Here is the big cheap extensor, and lateral rotator. Cheap extensor and lateral rotator. But it also stabilizes the knee joint through the iliotibial tract. Clear. So now you come. So gluteus maximus, this is gluteus medius. Then gluteus minimus. Minimus and medius is supplied by superior gluteus. This one, inferior gluteus. Correct. And what is this one? Piriformis, correct. And piriformis, if you divide, this is the one foramen. This is the foramen over here. Piriformis. You see, Probably this one. It is possible. Yes, this one. This one foramen. Yes. This is the greater sciatic foramen. And piriformis it divides this greater sciatic foramen into two compartments. The upper compartment is the lower compartment. From lower compartment, this is the main nerve that come out. This is the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve, and this is the another sciatic nerve will divide from this pelvic cavity. Usually it will divide here, upper two-third and lower two-third back of the thigh. It will divide into two components. This is the tibial and common pelvic. And but here is exception. It will divide from the pelvic cavity, come out after division. So sciatic nerve come out, and what are the other structures come out from lower compartment? What are the other structures come out?
Inferior gluteal.
Inferior gluteal nerve, yes, from lower compartment. Upper compartment, the superior gluteal nerve and vessels, and lower compartment, inferior gluteal nerve and its vessels. Any more? Any more structures?
Inferior pudendal.
Internal pudendal vessels and pudendal nerve. Internal pudendal vessels and pudendal nerve come out. Then again, those enters through the lesser sciatic foramen. Here, lesser sciatic foramen. From the lesser sciatic foramen, it will go in again. Internal pudendal vessel and pudendal nerve, and up to the obturator. Internal. These are the structures come out through the lower part, and then again enters through the lesser sciatic foramen to the pelvic cavity. Internal pudendal vessels and pudendal nerve, and up to the obturator. Internals. Clear? So structures come out from lower compartment. Mainly, this is the sciatic nerve, internal pudendal is the pudendal nerve, obturator internals. Then you say this is the inferior gluteal vessels and nerve, and posterior femoral cutaneous nerve. Posterior femoral, longest cutaneous nerve that will supply back of the thigh and upper part of the leg. These are the structures come out from the lower compartment. Clear? So, and identify this is the gluteus maximus, medius, minimus, piriformis, and these are the structures, and it's very important. Sciatic nerve, and this is the inferior gluteal vessels and nerve that will supply this gluteus maximus, inferior gluteal vessels and nerve, and superior gluteal vessels and nerve. Usually, these are the superior gluteal vessels and these are the superior gluteal vessels and nerve here. Superior gluteal vessels and nerve that will supply gluteus medius and minimus. Medius and minimus airs combinedly, and over the joint there is the abduction and medial rotation. Abduction and medial rotation combinedly act over the joint. Abduction and medial rotation. এই দেখো 11টা বাজে আমাকে বলবে। এটা আছে সমান। আচ্ছা তাহলে এখানে এসো। এখানে এখন back of this thigh, this is the back of the thigh muscles. This is the functionally, first of all, you try to understand, this is the thigh has three compartments. Location, depending on location, anterior, posterior, and medial. Depending upon location or position. And depending upon the function, this is the posterior one is the flexor, anterior one is the extensor, and medial one is the adductor. Adductor, again I am repeating, never forget, everybody remember, the functionally, it is the extensor front, back is the flexor, and medial one is the adductor. And depending upon the position, extensor one is the front, anterior, flexor one is the back, and medial one, this is the adductor. Clear? Now we identify muscles of the back, that is flexor region. Collectively, flexor muscles, collectively called, this is the muscle back of the thigh, this is hamstring muscle. Hamstring. Ham and string. You must try to understand what is the meaning of the ham and string. Ham means? Ham means? String means? String means rope line. Ham means? Hamstring. These are the basic things, and everything this has been already written in the book. And first of all, try to understand hamstring. What are the characters of the hamstring?
It origin from the
Ham and haturi. Haturi to put away the key. Hamstring behind the knee. Behind the knee. Actual thigh. This is a hamstring. Behind the knees is the rope-like muscles. And characters, minimum 5 characters.
the origin from
Origin from same place.
and the
Insertion to the same place.
the nerve supply same.
Nerve supply is the same. Position is the same. Action is the same. Now, origin from the ischial tuberosity.
Velocity,
Insertion to the leg bone.
leg,
Location is the back of the
Thigh.
knee or thigh. Nerve supply is the tibial nerve.
Sciatic nerve.
And action of the knee, flexion of the knee. Clear? So hamstring, this is the common character, hamstring. And now we identify hamstring muscle. Usually 3 hamstring muscle. And sometimes we say this is the 4th hamstring muscle also, partly one muscle. And when you identify hamstring muscle, it is better to identify from lateral to medial. Then it no confusion. And if you consider this one, everybody try to understand. This is the, actually try to understand, this is the muscle, this is the flexor, what is it? Flexor, bicep brachii and bicep femoris. So, bicep, this is the flexor group of muscle, but name is bicep femoris. Back of the thigh is the bicep brachii. No, bicep femoris. Front of the arm is the bicep brachii. This is the front flexor group. Here, back flexor group because of 90-degree rotation. During development, superior extremity 90-degree lateral rotation, and inferior extremity 90-degree medial rotation. So flexor surface go to back. Here flexor surface come to front due to opposite rotation. Opposite rotation. 90-degree. This is the lateral rotation. This is the 90-degree medial rotation. So flexor surface come back. This is flexor, this is flexor. But if you consider over here, this is the flexor, this is the flexor, this is the front. Extensor back. Here extensor front. Here extensor front. Yeah. So you try to understand. So this is the muscle, this is the bicep femoris. Biceps 2. Bi means 2, ceps means head. Bicep femoris. So 2 head, this is the long head, this is the short head, this is the short head. And as we have already mentioned, it will arise from the ischial tuberosity. So this head never come from the ischial tuberosity. It will come from the lateral lip of the linea spara. So it is not included within the hamstring. So you try to identify from the lateral to medial. The first one lateral, this is the long head of bicep, number 1. Number 2,
Semi-tendinosus.
wait, semi,
Tendinosus.
wait.
Semi-tendinosus.
Tendi,
Tendinosus.
wait, no, never say. Tendi,
Tendinosus.
tendinosus. Yes,
Semi-tendinosus.
neosus.
Semi-tendinosus.
Tendi, neosus.
tendinosus,
What is the spelling? Tendi, T-E-N. Wait. N-O? S-U-S. S-U-S. So many comments, sir. Semi-tendinosus. Semi-tendinosus. Neosus, no. Semi-tendinosus, no. Sometimes you say semi-tendinous, like that. Semi-tendinous, no. Semi-tendinosus. Wait.
Semi-tendinosus.
Tendinosus. Simple. Semi-tendinosus. Semi-tendinosus. These are the things when begin the item, then it will be clear. It must be clear. Now this is not the time to clarification these things. This is the time of exam, and so you try to remember this thing. semitendinosus. This is a semitendon. This is a tendon. This is a tendon. Partly tendon, partly muscle. Semi means partly tendon, partly muscle. Semitendinosus. Then semimembranosus. So three clear. Three clear.
Yes, sir.
This is lateral to medial, long head, semitendinosus, semimembranosus. Last one, this is the adductor magnus, but ischial fiber. Ischial fiber. Adductor magnus. Magnus means? Magnus means?
Magnus.
Magnus means?
Large.
Large. Large in the length or in the size? Size. Longest means?
Longest
Length.
means long, sir.
Long. These are
Length.
long. These are brevious.
Short.
Short. Brevious means short. Adductor brevis. Adductor brevis means short. Adductor longus.
Long.
But adductor magnus,
Wide.
mega. Mega through magnus. Size, the mega shell. So its origin is different places, like ischial tuberosity, then ischial rami and pubic rami. Ischiopubic rami. So start from ischial tuberosity, then ischiopubic rami. This is the magnus. The ischial fiber, as we have already discussed, the character of the hamstring muscle arises from ischial tuberosity. This part arises from ischial tuberosity. So ischial fiber acts as hamstring. Ischial fiber of what? Adductor magnus. Clear? So it is mega attached from ischial tuberosity, then a curve, then ischial, this is ischial rami, then pubic rami. If you see your bone, then it's just see this is the muscle attached from ischial tuberosity, side of the ischial tuberosity, then ischial and pubic rami. So ischiopubic rami north, this is the hamstring, this is the adductor part. Ischiopubic rami, that is the adductor part. But from ischial tuberosity part, that will act as fourth hamstring muscle. And that part attached to the leg bone, no, near to leg bone. Our principle is all attached to the leg bone. You see, this is the long head and short head unite, and it will form single, and it is attached to the neck of fibula, the leg bone. Semitendinosus and semimembranosus, both attached to this leg bone, tibia. But if you consider the ischial fibers of adductor magnus, never say this is attached to leg bone, but near to leg bone, where? Adductor tibia. Correct. Adductor near to leg bone. So it will consider as fourth hamstring muscle. Clear? And that part, whole four portion is supplied by tibial nerve. But ischiopubic rami, that part of the adductor magnus is supplied by obturator nerve, adductor groove. Clear? So this is the explanation. So this is the hamstring muscle. Never do mistake during identification. This is the hamstring muscle. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Hamstring muscle. And this is the short head. This is the not the hamstring. It is supplied by the common peroneal nerve, attached to the lateral leaf of the linea aspera. So these are these muscles of the back. You try to remember. And muscles of the back of the leg. দেখো এখানে the two head of the gastrocnemius and
Lateral head and middle.
soleus. Two head of the gastrocnemius, lateral head and medial. And this is the soleus. And these three head unite, and it was single triceps. Again triceps. Three heads. Two head, and this is the soleus. Triceps, suri. Yes, back of the leg, back suri, and this is one nerve. This is a sural nerve and sural communicating nerve, back of the leg. This is a cutaneous nerve, sural nerve and sural communicating nerve. And this is the triceps. triceps,
Suri.
no, triceps suri, another name. Actually, this is the two head of the gastrocnemius and soleus. And this soleus is the peripheral heart. Peripheral heart. And collectively three muscles is the calf muscle. This is the flexor group of muscles. Anticapillary muscle. And this is the one compartment. Deep compartment, this is muscles.
Plantar.
Another plantar is okay. And deep compartment muscle,
Posterior. Tibialis posterior.
flexor, that's a flexor group. Tibialis posterior. Flexor hallucis longus. Flexor digitorum longus. This is the deep compartment muscle. Deep compartment. And deepest one muscle is over here. Deepest muscle.
Popliteus.
No. You see?
Popliteus.
Popliteus, yes. Popliteus, here. This is the popliteus muscle over here. Is this one? You open it? This one? This is the popliteus. Popliteal surface. Popliteus above the soleal line. Back of the tibia. Above the soleal line. Soleal line is attached to soleus. Above the soleal line, triangular area, they attach to the popliteus. And this popliteus muscle is very important muscles for the functions of the knee joint. And this popliteus attached above, it is attached to which condyle of the femur? Lateral or medial condyle? Lateral condyle, yes. The lateral surface of the lateral condyle, there is a groove. This is the tendon of the popliteus attached. And this tendon is intracapsular but extrasynovial. Just like that, this is a long head of the bicep, intracapsular but extrasynovial. This is the tendon of the popliteus, intracapsular but extrasynovial. If you consider bone, tibia condyle, two condyle, behind the lateral condyle there is a sloping, and this is the tendon come out from this joint. And it is attached to this is the popliteal surface of tibia by muscular attachment. Origin tendinous, insertion muscular. Clear? And here bicep brachii also, the long head of the bicep brachii, origin tendinous, insertion muscular, but not purely muscular. Bicep brachii, two head unite, and bicipital tendon, this is the tendinous insertion. Another aponeurotic insertion. But here purely this insertion is muscular. But here one muscle, adductor longus, the origin is tendinous, but insertion is muscular. For that reason, this is a popliteus, the deepest muscle of the leg, back of the leg, deepest one, is attached above the soleal line. And this popliteus is functionally called this unlocking muscle. Unlocking, yes. Why? Why it is unlocking? Why you call it unlocking? What does it mean? We are standing, but this is the extension of the knee. Correct? When you ask, anybody ask, this is whether you in which position in the knee joint, this is extension. This is also extension position. But when it is a stand easy, like that, stand easy. When attention, everybody very alert. And then femur tightly packed over the upper end of the tibia. And all cruciate ligament is bent down. Attention. But when stand easy, and when attention position, and when do extension flexion start, then popliteus, first of all, popliteus will rotate the femur over the tibia, medial rotation. Then flexion start. It is unlocked. This is the door. It is locked. First of all, it open so the key, then push come within this, like that. So initiator of flexion is the popliteus. Flexion initiated by popliteus. So it is the unlocking. And what is the mechanism? A bit different. So we try to clarify later on. I am saying now this popliteal is the initiator of flexion. For that reason, it is the unlocking muscle. What is the mechanism? It will be a bit explanation. So you try to remember like this. So this is the flexor group of muscle. All are supplied by tibial nerve. This is tibial nerve. This is common peroneal nerve. Common peroneal. The common peroneal nerve, lateral aspect of the, this is the neck of the femur, and this fibula. It will divide into two: superficial peroneal and deep peroneal. No.
So deep.
This is common. Divide superficial and deep. Superficial peroneal nerve. It will supply these two muscles. Then it becomes cutaneous and supply this side. This is muscle supply. This is the cutaneous supply. Clear? And deep one go to the front. Deep peroneal nerve.
Deep peroneal.
In front of the leg, not arm. Not arm. This is the leg. This is the deep peroneal nerve that will supply the extensor group of muscle. Extensor group of muscle. Now, any injury over here and injured this nerve, then this group of muscle undergo paralysis. Then this actions of, by the actions of the flexor group, it will pull the foot back. This is a
Flexed position.
yes, due to the injury to the common peroneal nerve and paralysis of the extensor. This is the mechanism of foot drop. Like this over here. If radial nerve injured in the radial group, then this group of muscle no function, then flexor group of muscle just same mechanism. Clear? So you try to remember like this. So this is the peroneal groups, this is peroneus longus and peroneus brevis, two muscles, peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. This is very hard one. And this is the tendocalcaneus. This is the dense regular connective tissue and is formed by these collagen fibers. And the cell responsible for the forming collagen, this is the fibroblast. Fibroblast cell, blast cell. Fiber producing cell is a fibroblast. Bone producing cell, osteoblast. Blood cell producing cell, hemocytoblast. Erythrocyte producing cell, erythroblast. Megakaryocyte producing megakaryoblast. Like that. All blast cells are producing. Clear? So it is the fibroblast cell that is produce all fibers. Main collagen, then reticular, then elastic. Elastic is the mostly, then third one is the reticular. Reticular is formed, is all network. Reticulum means network. So it will form, it will mainly present in the hemopoietic organ. As for example, liver, spleen, bone marrow, all thymus, yes. And elastic fiber, that will all structures where is the a bit expansion, that is lung, large arteries, epiglottis, buccal cord, aortic tube, that is elastic cartilage, all are the sides for elastic. Okay? So this is the, these muscles, actually this is the plantar flexion. Plantar flexion. So it is flexor group of muscle. So plantar flexion do, and this is the plantar flexion, the true flexion. Dorsiflexion, also another flexion. It is performed by the extensor group of muscle, but as it is performed by the extensor group, so dorsiflexion or true flexion, it is the extension. একটা জয়েন্টে কোন সময় দুইটাই ও ক্লাস না পার্সেন্ট দিয়ে যাবে যে ক্লাসে যাবো তো আবার একটা সাইড হয়ে গেছে আরেকটা সাইড তোমরা একটু দেখাও কেউ দিয়া দেখাই দিই আমি ব্যাক সাইড দেখতে সময় লাগে এই স্টেপ না করলে তো হয় না সময় লাগে আর যদি কাউকে বলো যে ওই ফ্রন্টটা দেখাই দিবে মোটামুটি কিছু ধারণা দিয়ে ফেলেছি আমি ক্লাসে যাবো তাহলে যেটা বলছিলাম হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ এটা একটা জয়েন্টে one joint never do both flexion, one flexion another one extension. Here doing plantar flexion and dorsiflexion because both come in contact together. And doing this is also that is apposition of surfaces and reduction of angle. But when you explain this one, This performed by the flexor group of muscle, so it is plantar flexion, so it is the true flexion, and performed by the extensor group of muscle is the dorsiflexion, is the false flexion but extension.
Extension.
So you try to do practice dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, both dorsiflexion and plantar. All the movements of the ankle joint. Ankle joint two movement, uniaxial joint, dorsiflexion and plantar. Dorsi and plantar. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Inversion and eversion. No, this is the movement of ankle joint. It is the calcaneonavicular subtalar joint. It is the inversion and eversion. You try to clarify your understanding, then it will be easy. Here, deep fascia there, fascia cruris. Fascia cruris. Here, fascia lata. Clear? Fascia cruris. Here, thickened, this is the flexor retinaculum. Here, thickened, extensor retinaculum. The retinaculums all are the thickening of the deep fascia. Just to hold up, this is a group of muscle, and hold up this group of muscle. Flexor retinaculum and extensor retinaculum. Clear? Artery, here one artery come. This is the femoral artery. From front to back. This is the popliteal artery here. The present popliteal. This is the popliteal artery. Popliteal artery. Popliteal artery. And popliteal vein. This is one artery. And this one vein. White caliber. Vein is white caliber, thin and collapse. Artery is the narrow caliber. This is the thick and patent. And this is the lowest opening of the adductor magnus. Lowest of the adductor. The femoral artery come and it is continued as popliteal artery. And this is the popliteal artery go as femoral artery. And this is the lowest opening of the adductor magnus. This is the osteoaponeurotic opening. The 5 opening of the adductor magnus. This is the lowest, 5th opening. Another 4 opening transmits the perforating arteries. That will be the branch of arteria profunda femoris. Here, arteria profunda brachii. Here, arteria profunda femoris. Profunda means deep. Profunda means deep. There's 4 perforating branches and 1 continuation. This is the femoral artery. From femoral triangle, it will come through the adductor canal that will transmit this vessel from front to back. This is the adductor canal or subsartorial canal or Hunter's canal. Hunter's canal. And this is the transmission, these vessels and come back. Then it continues as popliteal artery. Popliteal lower border of the popliteus opposite the tibial tuberosity. It will divide into
Anterior and
posterior tibial and
Anterior tibial.
anterior tibial go front to the upper part of the interosseous membrane gap. Through this it will go front, and in front of the ankle joint, it will continue as arteria dorsalis pedis. Arteria means artery, dorsalis means dorsal of the foot, pedis means foot. Pedis means foot. And posterior tibial artery go back, then from the underneath the flexor retinaculum, it will go to the plantar surface, divided into medial and lateral. Lateral plantar and medial plantar. Lateral plantar, this is the arteria dorsalis pedis. On the proximal part of the interosseous space, intermetatarsal space. This is come down into the plantar aspect and it will anastomose with the lateral plantar artery. Complete the lateral plantar arch. So it is this is the ending. From here, this is the digital branches that will supply the digital. Yes. Clear? Here, radial artery and ulnar artery. It will form deep and superficial palmar arch. From where it will supply the digital branch. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So here I will stop and another one will come and see the front side and identify like this way. Then it will be never forget and never do mistake in the identifying the major or gross structures. Then it will be G for this pass. Not only pass, you must know something about the dead body. Then it will be clear that not only passing, but I know something about the dead body, about this muscle, about the nerves, about the vessels, about the mode of actions. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.